Jason Kelly Johnson. I'm a design principal at Future Cities Lab. We're here in San Francisco in the Dogpatch neighborhood. Actually giving the interview in our shop and kind of studio space. And my role here is more kind of creative director. So I sort of design and kind of conceptualize projects, help them to be actualized. We also do all of the fabrication and all the assembly and all of the kind of nitty-gritty actually happens basically in this space. So the office is a kind of hybrid kind of design build studio. We have lots of different folks that are both designers and kind of makers, and we have computer programmers. We also have digital fabrication experts that work in the shop. So we have a whole range of people kind of on our team. The project was a competition entry for YBCA, and really they asked us to do something that's a temporary piece, so it's actually there for 2 years, and we couldn't physically drill into anything. We couldn't drill into the plaza, drill into the wall. So if you actually look at it, it's very, very temporarily clamped onto the top of that concrete wall. When we started the project, we really started to look at the kind of sequence of moving really from Mission Street up through the kind of plaza into the garden and across the kind of facade, and really see the piece as being something that's kind of continuing a lot of those geometries. And then it becomes this kind of bundling and this kind of tightening of those geometries. Really the idea was to kind of cross-knit two different movements across the site. And so if you look at Murmur Wall, it's sort of sitting in two really unique conditions. One side of it is really dynamic. There's a ramp that leads people, from Mission Street up into the gardens and eventually to SF MoMA and to Moscone Center. So that's really fluid. So you look at that side of the piece, that lattice is very fluid and very kind of contoured. And then you go to the kind of flip side, which is on the plaza. The entry plaza, basically entering into the Yerba Buena Gardens Arts Center, that is much more sort of faceted and much more sharp and entangled, and kind of really asks you to sort of stand there and kind of congregate and engage the piece, from the front, and really to pause in front of it and to touch it and to look at it, etc. So that's really the idea, was to take these two different sort of really unique kind of patterns and have them intersect. We're actually grabbing what people are searching for on the internet, so trending search terms. And so we're actually using that as a kind of way to activate the wall. One of the primary inspirations for the Murmur Wall was sort of starting with looking at what everyone was searching for on the internet in and around the Yerba Buena Center for the Arts. And basically we're just accessing kind of open source and publicly accessible data, kind of looking at that range of data and then thinking about how we could spatialize it and kind of make it kind of poetic. And also animate it, so it's not just a sort of static thing that you access on a kind of cell phone in your pocket. It's something that we can bring out into the public realm to kind of activate a public space.